Hello and welcome to the Alula webinar. Today's topic is Interlogix Simon, Next Steps to Transition to a New Platform. My name is Kevin Hoffman. I'm the Content Marketing Manager for Alula. And today we will be talking about several key topics. First, I'm going to introduce you to our presenters. Then we'll talk a little bit about Alula. We'll show you how to transition from Simon. And we'll give you all you need to know about the Alula platform and our interactive services. We'll walk you through what onboarding looks like. And then we'll also talk about a special program we have to help you Interlogix dealers make that transition. And as always, we'll save plenty of time at the end for Q&A. Now let's meet our presenters. First is Adam Larson. He's a sales engineer for Alula. He's an expert at onboarding and training new customers on Alula's interactive services, and he formerly worked at Alarm.com. Welcome back to the webinar, Adam.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
And of course, Dave Main. Those of you who have attended these webinars are very familiar with Dave. He's our VP of Product Management and the Babe Ruth of our webinar program. He was formerly the Vice President of Residential Marketing for GE Security, and he worked there for 6 years from 1999 to 2005, so he's very familiar with their product line. Dave, thanks for joining us again.
Looking forward to it, Kevin, as always.
All righty, Dave, since I've got you, if you could, just tell everyone at home who may not be aware a little bit more about Alula.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, Alula, it's a brand that we kind of introduced a couple of years ago, but it's built on the shoulders of some long-standing companies in the industry. It was created through the acquisition of two companies, IP Datatel out of Houston and Resolution Products out of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And both organizations, number one, had operated independently for 10-plus years as their own companies, and have long ties into the security industry. With the group of Resolution Products, a large group of engineers that had been involved in companies like ITI and Interlogix, myself included, and a number of our engineers have a long background there. And with IP Datatel, everything from owning central stations to building communicators and operating as dealers in the industry. So we have a background of understanding the professional dealers, understanding the market, and we brought these companies together to innovate in the areas of delivering interactive services as a core platform for professional dealer partners. So many people on the call might think of us as problem solvers. It's for taking over a panel. It's for taking over sensors with our translators. We do all of those things, but we've really focused the organization on vertical integration and being able to deliver interactive services that help our partners compete in the new world of IoT. We hear from dealers every day about the concerns on what's Amazon doing, what's Apple or Google or Nest, all of these companies that are starting to change and disrupt the industry, Simply Safe opening up DIY markets, and we're here to really allow you to be competitive. Our platform is quite open. We have published APIs that allow us to integrate with other systems in the market. We have our own interactive app and dealer management portal that allow you to bring systems on board and manage them without rolling trucks. And we focus on maintaining and minimizing your account creation costs while delivering new and innovative services to the market. So we have about 3,500 dealers that we do business with day in and day out. We have hundreds of thousands of devices under our network, and we've made significant advances over the past 2 years in terms of the capabilities, and we look forward to introducing you to those ideas today, and then even more so, getting your feedback on what's missing in the industry and what can we do to help you be competitive in this new marketplace.
Excellent overview, Dave. Thank you for that. So let's get into the meat of this webinar. We all know about this Interlogix news, and it's disrupted a lot of people's businesses. This particular webinar we've targeted specifically to help you Simon dealers out there. We know it was an extremely popular panel, and there's good reason for that. There's a lot of things that were great about it. So Dave, can you tell us a little bit about why Simon really shined in the marketplace?
Yeah, and I see we found a picture of an even older version of the Simon panel. There's a lot of variations. Simon is the first self-contained security panel in the market. And I'm going to tell everybody a little bit of a story. Any long-timers might know this, but the original platform of Simon, believe it or not, was developed in a partnership between Honeywell and ITI back in the mid-90s. And it was really the first do-it-yourself product to be sold at Sears. So it had a unique user interface, the way that sensors were enrolled, the way the programming was done, voice feedback. Actually, one of our founders at the company was the original voice of Simon, Paul Saldine. And all of this was built to try to simplify professional security, leverage the fact that it was wireless, and bring it into the DIY market. Well, it failed miserably in the retail channel, as we kind of thought it might, even though you had companies like Sears and Honeywell brands behind it. But we tweaked it and built a new product for the professional channel that helped revolutionize the professional security industry and really helped make, I'll just say, account funding become the more of the norm in the industry back around the end of the 90s and into 2000. It was the panel that was involved in some of the first door-knocking campaigns and programs. So there's a lot of history behind this. And as a result, it was a very reliable system, widely deployed, and ended up being a very low cost because the engineers that were behind it were really focused on being cost conscious, and that carried forward through all the iterations of the panel. It was a simple to install system, all wireless, and that kept account creation costs low. And then many dealers were part of the AIN program or part of what I'd call high volume mass market installations that were behind this. And as a result, you have a certain mentality. I want to keep my costs low. I want it to be reliable. I want it to be easy and have an ability to train techs readily. I might use it in DIY channels and markets. And these are the types of things that really drove people to the panel. And what we're going to talk about today is on two fronts. Number one, how can we help you with all the panels that you might have deployed? And we have solutions for that. And then number two, what are some of the things that are present in the Alula platform that kind of replicate or carry that same philosophy forward? And so between Adam and myself, we're going to be introducing some of these ideas and then hopefully getting some feedback through the Q&A.
Yeah, and there's no time like the present for that, Dave. Let's look at the Alula platform from the eyes of a Simon dealer. How does it match up?
Well, again, I mentioned at the onset, Alula as a company, we've been focused. My team handles the roadmap, and our focus is always on keeping a total cost of ownership low for our partners. And that makes our products be very easy to install. You can even put a system in without any tools. It's a set on the counter, plug in, multiple paths of communications, and a very simple and consistent user interface on the devices inside the home and the devices that you carry in your pocket on your smartphone. So our focus is around keeping cost of ownership low. We recently signed an agreement and are part of the AIN program and very happy and excited to be part of that. So you'll see us in January at the event, at the AIN event, and many people just recently received some material about Alula, and we're going to continue to help all of the AIN customers convert their business over to our offering. So easy to install, part of the AIN program, and then focused on flexibility and modularity. One of the elements we bring to the table that didn't exist as much in the Simon or any other competitive offering is the modular concept. And Adam's going to walk you through the important nature of that modularity, how it helps you maintain your costs, how it keeps your costs low, not only on the upfront equipment and installation, but on ongoing services. So as you work with us, I think you're going to find that's where our mindset's at. And then we also bring elements of unmatched performance in RF. The engineers here have a background in not just building radio frequency products, but building RF products that work and have good range. We're bringing range back into the conversation in this industry. You're seeing it from some of our competitors as well. We pioneered that in the original days and are carrying that back with the Connect Plus platform. So you'll learn more about that as we go through the webinar, but eager to have a conversation with you about our capabilities on that front.
Thanks, Dave. And I just want to echo his point. We are very special welcome to our AIM members who are joining us on the webinar for the first time. We are very happy to have you, and we hope to be hearing from you and talking to you even more in the future. So we looked at how we matched up. Let's talk about where Alula excels. Dave?
Yeah, and I highlighted some of this, Kevin, at the intro, but people might know us for our ability to take over panels, and as such, our capabilities in dealing with the sunset. As an industry, we're once again faced with, this time, millions of devices that are going to be sunset due to CDMA sunsets over the course of the next couple of years. How do we excel at that? Well, first off, we have multiple paths of connectivity. All of our products, we lead with IP, which is Ethernet or Wi-Fi. Broadband is, ubiquitous. It's installed in virtually every home and business that you're going to be selling a security system to. We can leverage that pipe for all of our interactive services and alarm reportings, and that's not ever going to be sunset. We also carry cellular in. Cellular technology has value as well, but we bring cellular connectivity based on new technology that is actually defined and carried into the 5G world. So we're bringing the benefits of having broadband access and cellular, and that in itself makes it sunset-proof. Beyond that, we're focused on driving a consistent user interface. You see pictured on the right our touchpad. That touchpad's on a counter. It can also be wall-mounted. Very thin, sleek, 7-inch display. And the user interface that is there with video and full security and automation capabilities carry the same user interface as the app that you'd carry into your pocket. We believe training somebody on a single user experience is going to keep your training costs low and your support costs low and minimize your attrition. Even the Simon XTI5 was trying to carry forward that same concept and allowing interactive partners to load their logos into the user interface. They were really following suit on what we were delivering in our platform. And that touchpad can work not only on our Connect Plus system, but as we integrate with other people's panels, we're also able to carry that same user interface. We have a purpose-built network for professional security dealers. It is very responsive. Every command is responded to in less than a second. And so as you do automation activities, security functions, controlling door locks, you're going to give your customers the best experience possible, and that, again, is going to reduce your attrition rates. And then we drive modularity. You don't have to add a touchscreen on all your systems. You don't have to add Z-Wave. If you aren't promoting those functions, don't pay for the technology. So as Adam goes through and walks through the Connect Plus platform, look for those highlights on where did we make design decisions that, number one, save you money, and number two, allow us to continue to innovate. If new technologies or capabilities come up, modular designs allows you to respond more quickly, implement those into your platform without having to change every aspect of your system. These are the philosophies we carry forward, and it brings you benefits to help you run your business as efficiently and effectively as possible.
Absolutely, Dave. You mentioned that sunset. We know there are tons of these Simons in the field. It could be very time, labor, and cost intensive to keep these things alive, to save them from the sunset. But we've got a solution for that. Dave, tell everybody about the Connect XT.
Yeah, Connect XT, very excited about this. So this is a cellular device that can retrofit into any Simon XT, XTI, or XTI5 panel. It fits right inside the housing in the back where the existing cell card was. You unplug one, plug this right back in. The antenna is self-contained right into the side or top of the panel, depending on which panel variant you're at. So everything is totally encased inside that system. It is based on a technology called Category M cellular, which operates on the LTE band and also carries over into the 5G world, and provides all of our interactive services that you're going to learn about from Adam onto the Simon panels. So if you have any in the field that you need to sunset, these can be quickly installed by your technician, or I believe, and we believe as a company, could be sent out and pretty easily changed out by your customers if that's the path that you choose. So with this, you can also add a Z-Wave card for full home automation capabilities that can be added into that device. And we're looking to have this rolled out before the end of the year. So if you have any Simons in the field, Kevin will give you all the contact information. Work with us. We'll get you on the early evaluation list as these become available and allow you to start working with that platform right away.
Absolutely. I'm going to take it over to you, Adam. Dave alluded to modularity. It's an incredibly important concept, but I think some people may not understand exactly why we do it this way. Why don't you walk us through that decision?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So what you're looking at on the screen is our Connect Plus panel. It's a hub-based panel that really, when we talk about modularity, we're talking about it from a hardware perspective, but with the Alula platform, we're really flexible on the services side as well. So it allows you to build out your services and your hardware to make sure that you're offering the correct functionality to your customers. I'm going to start by talking about the Connect Plus hardware piece. So kind of the way we built that is with, out of the box, it comes with an Ethernet port or IP connection. So kind of right out of the box, you have that you can have IP-only services enabled, full alarm reporting, interactive services with the Alula platform. And then inside the panel, you open it up, and there's three really slots for what we call expansion cards. And those expansion cards allow you to build out your offering for your customers. So I mentioned it comes with the Ethernet ports. You have the IP capabilities right out of the box, but then you can add, if you want dual path reporting and you want a cellular connection as well, you can add a card, expansion card that goes into one of the slots for cellular reporting. So then you have the dual path capabilities. You can also add Wi-Fi. If you want to have it communicate over Wi-Fi, you can add our device link card, which allows for our new 7-inch touchscreen. You can see pictured there to communicate to the Connect Plus. And then also we have a Z-Wave and translator card. So the Z-Wave brings home automation for your lights, locks, thermostats, garage door, water valve opening, closing. And then the translator card allows you to take over existing wireless sensors. So if you have a system that has existing GE sensors, you can set the translator to the 319 frequency for GE, and then you can utilize those existing wireless sensors within the home to communicate to the system. So that's really the hardware modularity. Allows you to build out your system. As Dave mentioned, if you're not going to offer something, or a customer isn't going to purchase a touchscreen, or they're not going to purchase home automation, there's no reason to put that technology and pay for it in your upfront costs when acquiring that customer. On the services side?
That's right, Adam.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the services. So with the interactive services, you start with the IP only, and then you can build out all that functionality as well. So that really allows the flexibility from both the hardware and the services standpoint.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with flexibility. When you hear modularity, that's what you want to think about is flexibility. It allows you to decide how to go to market. A lot of these hard bundled systems, you're kind of stuck with what they give you. We really can fit all your needs from low-cost installs all the way up to more advanced Z-Wave with multipath communication. So don't get confused by this. You ultimately decide how to go to market, and we're just enabling you on that. Adam, sorry I stepped on you there. You're talking about some of the interactive services. Why don't you lay out for us some of the ways our platform is differentiated from the competitors?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So the Alula Interactive Services Platform, kind of front and center there on this slide, what I want to talk about is our customizable dashboard. So what that allows the customer to do is bring the devices that are the most important to them to the forefront of their mobile experience. So if they have a doorbell camera, if they have a lock, if they have a thermostat that they want to have front and center on their dashboard, they can. And it allows them to open up the app and immediately get to the most important devices. Obviously, you can go into the app deeper, into the different layers of the app, and get to all the devices, all the sensors, etc. But the most important devices can be brought right to, of the customer's choosing, can be brought right to the forefront of the app, which we think is pretty powerful. But I'll go up to the upper left-hand corner here. So Dave mentioned the consistent user experience. This is one of the values of vertical integration. So the vertical integration allows us to really kind of control the experience from a hardware to services side. So we're going to be able to offer you and your customers the same experience from the mobile app to our 7-inch touchpad, where if you look at different platforms out there, they're going to have one experience for the panel and a completely different experience for the mobile app. This requires more training for your technicians and also more training for your customers, where it feels a lot easier and more valuable to have your customers get used to one user interface, and that's going to transition from the mobile to the touchpad. As we get down to the multi-path connectivity, we're an IP-first company. All our products are going to have the capability for IP communication, and then we have the cellular dual path option as a backup. So you'll have those capabilities. And then as we go up to the upper right-hand corner, so with our back connect device, which we'll talk about here, Dave will talk about here in just a few minutes, but what that allows you to do is take legacy hardware systems. You can replace the keypads, modernize those, and bring those systems up to a modern technology without ripping out the whole entire panel. You can utilize the system and bring it to kind of bring the technology that the customer is looking for. And then the value of increasing your RMR with video, home automation. So the Alula platform allows you to really add IP video. So we have 4 video cameras that we'll touch on here in a little bit, that you'll be able to add to a customer's account, bring them video into their system, eyes into their home, into their business, and also the home automation piece where you can add lights, locks, thermostats to increase your RMR. We know that adding additional devices creates stickier customers. They're going to last longer for you, and also increase that monthly RMR that you're looking for.
Thanks, Adam. And you mentioned that customers are looking for technology. Well, the place that the real interface they're going to see that is going to be that interface on their phone or on the touchpad. That's the point of touch for the customer, and making sure they have a good experience there is what is going to keep this thing sticky. So, Adam, why don't you walk through what our interactive services look like?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is what the experience would look like from the customers. This is a view of our mobile app, some different pages within it. And we all know that the customer experience is very important. So you want to make sure that your customers have a great experience. We feel the Alula mobile app delivers that. The customizable dashboard right in the middle there is what I was mentioning a little bit ago on the previous slide. But you can see another glimpse of that where you have your arming bar up top, so you always know what state the system's in. You can arm, disarm right from that arming bar. That's going to transition from different pages. That's going to be consistent as you go from page to page within the app. And then you have the customizability for that customer. So if they have a doorbell camera, they're likely going to bring that right to the forefront. If they have a lock, they're going to put that on the main page. Even their, for instance, my system, I have all the entry-exit doors right on that main page, so you can keep an eye on if those zones are open or closed as well. So it allows that flexibility, brings those most important devices right to the forefront. As we go down to the groups section of the app, what this does is allows the customer to define groups based on areas of the home. So what they can do is add multiple groups, so they can have a group for their living room, all your living room devices. If you have lighting for your living room, you can put those devices into that group. If you have a entryway or foyer group, you can put all your devices, your locks, your lighting for entry delay, your lighting for your front porch into that group. So you can go to that group. You can easily manage all and interact with all the devices within that area of your home. As we go to the locations for, so we all know it's important to be able to manage multiple locations. If you have customers that have a primary residence and then they have a secondary home or cabin or a small business, and they have two separate accounts, you don't want to make them kind of jump through hoops and remember two logins and passwords. Everybody's got enough of those these days. So really there's a drop down right on the top of the mobile app. It allows you to link accounts and toggle between those accounts. So if you have 2, if you have 10, you'd be able to toggle right from the drop down on the mobile app to all those different locations. So easily manageable if you have multiple locations. And then one of the really, I think, most important pieces is the user and device management. So as you add secondary users for your spouses, for your kids, for contractors, for employees, you can easily do that all from within the app. It's easily manageable. You can create secondary users and pins, delete them as necessary, but we also get pretty granular on the different permissions. So you can give a secondary user, say you want your kids to have access to the security system, but you don't want them to have access to video cameras, you can restrict that based upon the user. So we get pretty granular on the permissions aspect for sub-users.
And Adam, you were talking about how beautiful that app looks to the end user, but we've also recently launched Alula Connect because we want our partners to have a great experience and a great interface as well. Why don't you talk a little bit about Alula Connect and what that looks like for our installers?
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. So Alula Connect is our brand new partner portal. We're pretty proud of it. What it allows you to do is you can log in, create accounts, you can troubleshoot accounts remotely, really access anything you need to know about your customer base right from Alula Connect. So you can go onto the right-hand side and look at our new reporting dashboard that we've built out. That you can log in, you can see how many devices you've put on the Alula platform, what those devices are, and so forth. So and this is going to be kind of home base for where we're building out our reporting business intelligence dashboard to give you as a business owner, you as a manager of a business, insight into your business and some insight into your business and your business needs. The Alula Connect platform also, kind of, as you see on the left-hand side, it's a desktop view, and then right in the middle is a mobile view. So it really, from a desktop back office, you're creating accounts and doing remote troubleshooting. Maybe desktop setting is the best. If you're in the field, it translates well right to a mobile device. So if you're doing installation or troubleshooting in the field, you can pull it up and easily navigate throughout Alula Connect, regardless of what type of device you have. We also have, as Dave mentioned, published APIs that allow you to integrate with your CRM or kind of build out any kind of reporting dashboard that you would like to solve for your own business needs.
Thanks, Adam. I'm going to take it to you, Dave, real quick, just for this slide, because I know it's an important one for you. With the launch of the Back Connect, we've really now built out our platform so that we're able to get you to that Alula experience that Adam was talking about, regardless of the circumstances of the install. Dave, tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. And I think it's important what you heard from Adam as he walked through the app. Most people in the industry don't think of Alula or IP Datatel or Resolution products as a full-on interactive provider. And I hope what you took away from the conversation there with Adam is the fact that our platform is very capable. It gives the tools for you to manage your accounts. It gives the application features, both on a touchpad and on the smartphone in their pocket, the capabilities and tools that they expect to have in their connected home or connected business experience. And that's what we've been investing in here at Alula. It doesn't matter what panel you're installing. You can install our Connect Plus that you see pictured in the lower left corner of the diagram, and use that for all your new installs, and it's very effective and efficient at not only installing and programming, but taking over other sensors and really reinventing your business for new installs. But if you don't do that, you have paths to still utilize our service platform, deliver what we think is the most tightly integrated security, video, and automation experience that's in the professional security market, and deliver that whether you're putting somebody else's panel in, or if you have a whole bunch of systems in the field and you want to put a Connect XT in your Simon panels, you have an ability to deliver really robust, very responsive, quick and complete interactive services. We give the tools in the app and in the platform to never roll a truck. You can send out sensors and have them be enrolled when they arrive. You can utilize native downloaders if you're putting our BAT Connect on other people's systems and you're doing new installations. But you can change user codes and change sensors and sensor names right on our Alula Connect platform. So we've really built a lot of tools to help you be as efficient as possible and to build your business around Alula as your interactive partner. So we're going from the problem solver to becoming core, and we really look forward to not only having you try that experience and all the capabilities and benefits we're bringing, but then to stay engaged with us as a partner so that you can be part of our roadmap rolling forward. So our panel, somebody else's panel, we have solutions there. Looking forward to dialogue with you.
It's a great invite. And since we're talking about building a business around the Alula platform, an important part of any business is controlling the total cost of ownership, and we've got a lot of ways to make that easy for you guys. Adam, talk a little bit about how we can do that.
Yeah, so I think we've talked about keeping costs low, total cost of ownership low a couple of times, and what does that really mean? So this slide, I think, should add some clarity into what we're talking about in terms of keeping those costs low. So first and foremost, kind of on the upfront cost or the creation cost of an account, the equipment modularity is a big one. So we talked about that a few different times, but kind of from a hardware standpoint, kind of we give you the ability to put those expansion cards in or take them out, depending on what the customer is going to be purchasing from you. So if they have Z-Wave, or they're going to be getting home automation, great. We have the Z-Wave card that you would put into the Connect Plus or snap onto the Connect XT. If they're not getting Z-Wave, if they're not getting home automation at this time, you don't have to incur the cost of those devices or those expansion cards, putting them into the system. That can be something that you upsell to that customer at a later date. So keeping those front-end costs low is very important. No activation fees, so we're not going to nickel and dime you with activation fees, and our simple IP first service bundles are really from a services side. You can start with IP only. If you want to have an IP only service plan, that's great. If you want to have IP and cellular as a dual path offering, that's great as well. But we allow you to pick your service plans as you add home automation, as you add video. Really, that flexibility from a services standpoint really depends upon what you're offering to that specific customer. We're going to build out your service plans accordingly. Best-in-class hardware. So we've talked about this. We've got our engineers are some of the best from a hardware standpoint with RF range, those capabilities. So the reliability is there, and then now with the Alula Interactive Services platform, really the tools from the mobile experience to the Alula Connect backend enables fast, free onboarding, easy installations, and really great remote troubleshooting capabilities to limit those truck rolls. Remote firmware upgrades deliver kind of the advanced technology. So we talked about the power of vertical integration a little bit, but that allows us to really innovate and roll out features and functionality to your customers without you going on site to install a new device. So we can do those with we can offer new features with remote firmware upgrades to your customers. You can sell them a new offering without even necessarily going out on site to put in a piece of hardware. The Advanced Partner Portal, we've talked about this a few times, but that helps reduce truck rolls with remote troubleshooting capabilities. All in all of this it comes to and gives you a lower total cost of ownership.
Yeah, Adam, those are all great reasons to join Alula's Pro program, to become a partner. But we also want to make it easy. We understand that switching platforms can be intimidating. So we have a robust onboarding program designed to make it really easy on our partners. Adam, why don't you walk us through what it looks like to come on board as a new partner?
Yeah, so as you pick a platform, you want to be with a partner that is with you every step of the way. So kind of here's what we're looking at in terms of what it's like to come on board with Alula. So first, you would do an evaluation of the Alula Interactive platform. So that's hardware, the services side, the software experience. We have a customer success team that would work with you along the way to complete that evaluation, make sure that Alula is the right platform for your needs. From there, we would give you access to the enablement tools. So we talked about our partner portal. You would get access there. We also have a marketing portal and a lot of other training videos, training materials that would kind of get you up to speed on the business, up to speed for your business from the Alula platform standpoint. Then we would transition into a full-on training from the Alula team. So we have focused education from the Alula training experts, for all different departments of your business. So from sales to account creation, your administrative team, your field installation team, so your technicians, make sure that they understand the ins and outs of installing the hardware, understand the services so that they can train your customers how to utilize their system and the benefits of it. The remote troubleshooting capabilities for your tech support team, how to limit truck rolls, what to do in different scenarios when you're remotely troubleshooting. And then the end user functionality is big, right? Your customers have to know how to use their system, how to set up their dashboard to bring that security, video, home automation piece right to the forefront, as Dave mentioned. And then we would go forward into a successful launch. So your representative that you'd be working with and your customer success team rep would be with you every step of the way as you go through the initial launch of Alula, and then along with that, that's when the real work begins, right? Post-launch, continue education and support. So we've talked about innovation a couple times. As we're rolling out new features and functionality, we'll be with you every step of the way to train you on those pieces of new functionality and give you refreshers on the hardware and services standpoint. So every step of the way, it's important to have a partner to have your partner with you, and this is what we would deliver, that white glove experience.
Yeah, and the key phrase there is every step of the way. We're a right-sized company. A lot of these bigger companies, they may not give you that same kind of white glove treatment, that same kind of partner support, that personal touch that we're so invested in. We know that we don't succeed unless you succeed, and so we are dedicated to helping you every step of the way, accelerate your business, make it as smooth as possible, and make sure that you are able to thrive in the marketplace. And to that end, Dave, we've got some great incentives here that's going to make it a lot easier and save some money for those Interlogix dealers out there who've suddenly been surprised by the news and are looking for a way to find a new platform that's also going to be cost affordable for them. So what are we doing for those dealers out there? How are we helping them?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. And it's always hard to see any company in the industry struggle, or in this case shut down, like Interlogix. I know it'd be great to not have any competitors. The reality is it's better for everybody if there's options in the marketplace. But Interlogix did shut down, and that has an impact on everybody in the industry, us as manufacturers, us as service providers, and you as dealers, obviously. While we can't solve the issues that happen with Interlogix, we can recognize that there's training costs and inventory costs and all kinds of other things that are going to be you're going to be faced with in trying to turn your business around. We want to recognize that and give you tools to help you be competitive. The focus on this slide is really around our Connect Plus platform, but trust that when we launch BAT Connect, at least the first 2 rebates will apply to not BAT Connect, the Connect XT offering. The first 2 rebates will apply to those as well. Didn't want to list them on here because we haven't put that pricing out in the marketplace. What's on the slide here is our Connect Plus panel. Connect Plus out the door, standard list price is $99. We're running promos through the end of Q1 that put it down to $79. If you're an Interlogix dealer and you're converting over to the Connect Plus panel, you get a $25 rebate. That puts your cost right down in the mid-50 range. This is very competitive. Anybody coming off the Simon panel, you're going to tend to have be cost conscious. Those are very affordable panels. We're making this one affordable for you as well. If you add in a cell card and what's called our device link card, which enables a touchpad, after rebate, you're in at $114, and if you add in an automation card and a 7-inch touchscreen, so that third one is basically a full-on system. The brains can be installed inside the home. You can add a 7-inch touchscreen next to the door. You have automation capabilities, cellular backup on an LTE network that'll carry over to 5G with dual-path Ethernet for $179 after rebate. The link is there on where to sign up for the rebates, and as we add in Connect XT as a product offering, that Connect XT is going to be, right around the $90 cost to dealers, and you'll be able to apply rebates on top of that as well. So, very cost-effective and affordable way for you to transition the business. And again, looking forward to helping you train and come on board with all the tools that Adam spoke to on the previous slide, so that you can be successful in converting over as we go into 2020.
Yeah, all the details on that Interlogix Rescue rebate are available at that link. I'm putting it into the chat box right now. Go ahead and click on through to that. You can get your sign-up process started, bookmark that page. That's where you're going to find all the details and all the ways that you can claim this rebate. And by the way, this rebate is cash in your pocket. This isn't a discount on future services or offerings. We're giving you this money back so that you can continue to grow your business. Adam and Dave, thank you so much for taking the time out here. I know our Simon dealers in the audience are appreciative of this kind of personal touch that you're giving them and some personal advice that you're giving them on how to look at the Alula platform and how to transition to a new platform. We've obviously got a lot of new attendees on this webinar. We've got some of those AIM members, some of those Simon dealers. Do you guys have some time to stick around and answer a few questions from the audience?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I've been watching the questions come in on the chat window and looking forward to addressing them.
All right, let's get right to it then. Thank you guys all for joining us on this busy week in the security industry. We've got something special today. Dave is coming to us live from ISC East out in New York City. And I can't resist getting a field report from our own on-scene correspondent. Dave, are you with us?
I'm here.
Could you give us a sense of what the show looks like and any kind of exciting trends that you're seeing?
Well, so it opened just a couple hours ago, and this show has been growing over the past couple of years. I call it a super regional. It's a lot of people from the Northeast, but it's starting to reach out. And I think, for ISC West is the big event in the industry out in Vegas. But this one, we get more time with our dealers, and I think, people coming in as the professional dealers get more time with everybody that's participating in the show. So far it's been really good. A lot of work in the, I'll say artificial intelligence or analytics around video. A lot of activity in our booth. I haven't had a chance to walk it much yet, but definitely a fun event, and looking forward to the next couple of days.
Great. Thanks for bringing us there, Dave. And to all you guys out there, if you have any questions about what's going on at ISC East, feel free to pop them right there in the chat box, and we can touch back with Dave a little later during this Q&A for an update. But first, let's go to your questions. First one comes to us from John. Adam, I'm going to bring this one over to you. John's asking, is Connect XT dual path or cellular only?
Yeah, sure. So that's a good question. So the Connect XT is actually cellular only. So we utilize the Category M technology that Dave talked to previously on the webinar, the IoT band of cellular that is currently running on the 4G LTE spec, but is dedicated for 5G. The carriers have dedicated that for 5G as well. So it's 5G ready. So you're set for a long time with the sunset. If you're looking for the dual path option, that would be the Connect Plus solution that I talked to earlier in the webinar. We do. There's another question there, Kevin, that I'll just hit on since it asked about the carriers for Connect XT. So it is AT&T and Verizon for that Category M1 cellular carrier that we utilize.
Excellent. A lot of questions here coming in about Connect XT. So Dave, I'm going to bring it over to you. Mike is asking, does the Connect XT have Z-Wave?
Yeah, great question. We have it both with and without Z-Wave. It's an option card. Our modularity that Adam spoke to carries into this product as well. If you want to use Z-Wave, it's a card that fits right on the back of the Connect XT. It still fits right inside the housing, so there's no external items visible. And then it supports really, whatever the network, a couple hundred devices. I think we can uniquely name 60 or so, Adam, you might know specifically, but beyond that, we can support multiple devices. And we are certified in Z-Wave, the latest Z-Wave technology with higher security and an ability to actually work cooperatively with any other Z-Wave hubs that might exist in the property. So all that's carried right through our app. And we run all of the Z-Wave automation scenes locally, so they're very quick and responsive. And even just individual commands typically are less than a second response time, even over the cellular network. So if if it's raining, you're coming home with your groceries, you want to unlock the door, it's going to happen immediately, not 37 seconds later. So pretty good user experience on that.
Yeah, and just one more follow-up question from Mike on that Connect XT, and then we'll move on to another topic. Mike's asking, does the Connect XT take on existing sensors, and can you enroll Connect Plus sensors into the Connect XT?
Interesting question. So the Connect XT hooks up to the Simon panel. Any sensor enrolled in the Simon is available and visible through the platform. So we aren't enrolling anything into the Connect XT itself. It's all enrolled into the panel. In terms of enrollment into a Connect Plus, that's our own panel and devices get enrolled in. We have a translator card that can go into that device, so we could enroll 319.5 or Simon sensors into that panel. There's 96 zones total. We don't care if they're our own encrypted sensors or if they're 319.5. So you have a limit of 96 devices that you can enroll. They can be hardwired. They can be any of the competitive frequencies as well as our own 433 encrypted. Hopefully that answers the question. If not, you can follow up with me offline.
Yeah, and if you need to reach Dave, he's at dave.maine, M-A-Y-N-E, at alula.net. He's very generous with his time, so if you do have one of those deep dive technical questions about the product, feel free to send him an email. Got another question coming in here. This is from Ryan Sharp, just came in. He's asking a similar question to both Dave and Lisa, so I just want to take this one myself. Ryan is asking, I came in late to the webinar. Can I access the entire webinar on your website later today so I can catch up on what I missed? Lisa similarly asks if we'll be providing a recording of this webinar so that she can share it with their sales team. The answer to those questions is yes. Within 24 hours, we will have this webinar available on alula.net as well as on our YouTube channel. You can always reach out to me if you need access and aren't able to find it. My email address is kevin.hoffman, Hoffman, at alula.net. Just remember to put that period between the first name and the last name. All right, back to the questions. Adam, I'm going to bring this one over to you. About can the translator also dial into Honeywell and DSC 433 sensors?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we're talking about the translator, the Z-Wave translator card for the Connect Plus here that allows you to take over existing wireless sensors. So yeah, to answer Thomas's question, yes, it can. The frequencies that we support are GE Interlogix, DSC, Honeywell, 2 gig, and then NAPCO as well. So any of those wireless sensors you should be able to take over with the Connect Plus translator card.
Great. And while I have you, Adam, we've got a question from Robin about technical support. I'm hoping you can help her out. We had a technical support number of 866-896-2944, extension 2. Is that still applicable, or is there another number that they should be dialing for tech support? How can they get hold of our tech support team?
Yeah, so I think there's a few different numbers that you can reach out to Alula and get to technical support. I don't have that number right in front of me, but I know if you dial 1-888-88-ALULA, you'll be able to get to our technical support team.
Yeah, you're seeing that number 1-888-88-ALULA is on your screen right now. If you go to alula.net, there's also field representatives who will be able to immediately be connected with you electronically if you prefer that means. And like I mentioned, you can always reach me at kevin.hoffman@alula.net, and I'll make sure to get your query to the right person and get you an answer as quickly as possible. Adam, let me ask you another question from Colin. This is a pretty interesting question. He's asking, how can we create limitations for our techs on alulaconnect.com so they can only log in when they are on site? What kind of abilities do they have around that area?
Yes, so you can, we do give you the ability to create technician logins, and what that does for kind of a safety net purpose, which I think he's getting after here, is to make sure that they can only access the account that they're working on, right? So what that technician login will require them to do is to have the MAC address of the panel and the central station account number. They'll have to type that in to then, once they do that, they'll be able to get into the device and make the proper setting changes or troubleshooting that they need to do. So yes, we do have a way to limit technician permissions, and we continue to build that out as we move forward here with Alula Connect.
Thanks, Adam. And just one more question from Robin. She's, I believe it's a she. If it's not, it's a he. Hope I don't get that wrong. But they're coming to us from IP Datatel, one of the companies that formed Alula, and they are wondering about how to access Alula Connect. They're getting a message that it's in beta. What's the best way to get somebody up and running on Alula Connect?
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're using an end-user login credentials there when they're trying to log into Alula Connect. So your alarmdealer.com, which is the IP Datatel legacy partner portal, is still up and running. You should be able to log into that with your credentials, with your partner portal credentials, but then you can also log into Alula Connect. So I would just want to ensure that you're using your dealer credentials and not an end user credentials to log into that. And then if you have any questions, feel free to contact us, and we can make sure that you're set up. But Alula Connect is live and ready to go.
Great, Robin. Please do reach out to me or to adam.larson, Larson, at alula.net. As soon as you can, as soon as this webinar concludes, we want to make sure that you are up and running and have what you need to succeed out in the field. Dave, got a question for you from Thomas. I think you'll have a little fun with this one. Thomas asks, how do you stack up to allow us to compete with Ring Amazon's $100 a year alarm and video services?
Oh, yeah, great question. This industry has been going through a lot of change, and whether it's Ring or Simply Safe or other new models in the market, it's putting pressure on the professional channel. I think there's a couple of things though that I'd like to highlight is, first off, do it yourself, especially when it comes to security and life safety. If people are concerned about their life safety, they like to pull in the experts. And when you're dealing with trying to protect yourself, your family, or anything else that you're concerned with, most consumers don't feel themselves as experts and are going to look for somebody to come in and help them not only understand how to best protect, but also to maintain and service all that equipment. I like to look at, and I think everybody in the industry's probably seen a lift anytime historically ADT came through with an ad campaign, or Xfinity Home comes through with an ad campaign, or now Ring. It's driving increased awareness, and that's helping to expand the market. One of the things that we do is we integrate all the technologies together. It's a unified app. It's not just video. It's not just security. It's multiple solutions all built into one, and it's delivered by a professional and an expert. Is this putting pressure on recurring revenue models? Certainly. But I think also it's increasing the market opportunities, and we've given tools that allow you to do both DIY, professional install, and pursue different models to help optimize your business. So I think we're definitely going through some change and some turmoil, but I think it's also going to create some new opportunities for us. And in terms of being able to work with existing systems in the field, being able to work with existing devices, we're the leaders in that space, and we're the industry that understands and knows how to tie these things together. We've been doing a lot longer than Ring. We don't have their advertising budget, but we can leverage that and then bring our expertise to the table and win business that way. And sorry for the background noise. That's part of being at ISC.
You're coming through loud and clear, Dave, so don't worry about that whatsoever. We got a similar question from Wayne about Simply Safe. I think Dave pretty much touched on that in that answer. But we did hear from you guys loud and clear in the chat. Thank you for that feedback. It sounds like you guys would really love to see an Alula webinar around competing with DIY. We have put that on the list. We will be hitting that. Thank you for the idea. We did have one more question about Connect XT. The question is, can you Connect XT? So it's a great opportunity to talk about that slimline touchpad.
It cut out on me, so I didn't hear the question. I apologize, Kevin, if that's coming to me. Something about the slimline and Connect XT.
The question comes in can you add a touch screen with Connect XT?
Great question. So the way we add touchscreens on other panels is we have a Wi-Fi chip on our BAT Connect, and that allows us to create a Wi-Fi network for our touchpad to join. We don't have that option in the Connect XT world. However, I know there's secondary keypads for the Simon XT, and those would function. So generally in that case, they already have wireless keypads that you can add as a secondary station, and we leverage those particular devices. If you wanted to put a slimline in, my suggestion would be, again, put our translator card in, leave the sensors in place, swap out the panel, and you can put our either wall mount, flat mount, which is probably the most suitable because it would cover up where the Simon was, or our slimline touchpad and replace the system that way. That'd be my recommendation for that application.
Excellent. Adam, Wayne has a question for us. He's wondering, is this a 9 or 12 volt system, AC or DC, and does it have an AUX output? Are you able to field that question with that information?
Thanks, Kevin. So I guess I'm not clear here which system he's asking about. It's Connect Plus, Connect XT, or the touchpad. Wayne, to give you a correct answer, if you can reach out to me, Kevin, set my email address and can put it in the chat. If you want to reach out to me directly, I can make sure that we get you the correct info.
And I'll just I'll feed a little bit into this, Adam, if that's all right. But yeah, the slimline touchpad itself has its own power supply and will run a 12 volt power supply. You leverage the wires and can pop our transformer in on the other end. And it's an Android tablet. We have a little conversion that goes from the 12 volt to 5 volt for touchpad. And then Simon's, I know historically have been at 9-volt type systems. We have a 12-volt system for the Connect Plus, and then we operate on the typical bus for our BAT Connect. So the voltages will vary. We provide power supplies for all of our different systems, and we can leverage existing wiring and pop our transformer on the other end if we're going to be replacing keypads with our Slimline or anything along those lines. But again, follow up with Adam. He can get you all the details and specs on lengths of wire run at different gauge wire and all of that to kind of address your specific needs.
Yep, and I just put Adam's email address there in the chat, Wayne, so feel free to reach out to him. He's extended that invite, and he'll get you an answer very quickly. Dave, I got another great question for you from Thomas. Thomas is asking, where did the trademark name Alula come from, and does it have any significance? We get this a lot, so I'd love to hear you address it.
Yeah, so it came from a guy whose title is Namer. So when the acquisition came through, you go through how we're going to brand this company. We hired an expert who puts about 300 to 500 names in front of people, and we pick. And Alula stood out for a couple of things. First off, it is an actual word. It's part of a bird's wing enabling flight, and we kind of view ourselves as, we talk about all the, whether it's Simply Safe or Xfinity Home or Ring. There's a lot of new things going on in this industry, and we want to help partner with you to navigate through that. So it's part of a bird's wing. It's enabling flight. We liked that it was a palindrome, forward and backwards. We thought that was cool. And it's a little different name. There's a lot of names in this industry that are kind of those just masculine, hard-hitting names. This one stood out, and it felt new and modern and directional. Plus, it was the one word when they put 500 in the list that I remembered after I left the list. So those are the reasons, and somebody made a good chunk of money by creating a list, and he probably owned the URLs that we bought too. I don't know, but anyway, we like the name. It grew on us over time, and hopefully it'll stick with you, and you'll build your business around it.
Thanks, Dave. That was a great question. We've probably done over a dozen of these webinars this year alone, and I haven't gotten that question yet. So we're happy to answer it, Thomas. Thank you for bringing it to the table. Next question comes to us from Sharad Sharma. Sharad appreciate the webinar and asks the sales manager to please contact. We will have that sales manager reach out to you, Sharad, right after this webinar. But Sharad also has a question. Adam, this one's for you. Does Alula have a GSM radio cell card alone?
Yeah, that's a good question. So with the Connect XT, it's utilizing cellular only for the Simon panels to take over those Simon systems. And then for the Connect Plus, it comes with onboard Ethernet, has the dual path capabilities. If you choose, if you don't want to connect IP, you can do cell only with the Connect Plus system as well. And then just the third one that we touched on as far as systems are concerned, the BAT Connect comes with onboard cellular, Wi-Fi, and Ethernet, so you can have really a triple path communication with the BAT Connect. But to answer Sharad's question, yes, we can definitely do cell only.
And they specifically asked GSM, and I wonder if that's if either north of the border or international in some way. And Category M our AT&T version can go into Canada, Caribbean, and other parts too. So I don't know if that was the source specifically for GSM. Maybe bring that offline to Adam to follow up on.
No, Dave, you're exactly right. Sharad in the comments tells us that they're coming to us from Canada. So hello to our neighbors to the north. We always appreciate when you guys tune in for our webinars. Great to have you aboard.
Our AT&T model will work up in Canada, and it basically picks up on primarily the Rogers network, but it'll roam on others as well.
Got it. Let's see. We've got a question here from Colin. Dave, I'll stick with you on this one. Colin asks, can you view cameras on the Slimline touchpad?
As of today, yes. Yeah, we try to keep that user interface consistent, and we've added the ability to view and control and change settings on all of our cameras right on that touchpad. You actually can, the way our system works, you can view cameras from multiple accounts. So if you have a home and a business, you might be able to view both cameras off of a single touchpad, depending on permissions and how you have the account set up. So a pretty cool new feature, and it's rolling out today in every product we're shipping, and also any that have been installed. We do automatic firmware updates. I think Adam mentioned that. That'll carry forward to those devices as well. So anybody that has video on their accounts will be able to add that capability, with an automatic firmware update.
Well-timed question there, Colin, and a happy video on touchpad day to all of you. You'll be seeing that on your system soon, and I hope you really enjoy that feature. I think it's a real winner. We've got another question from Colin. Adam, I'm going to take this one to you. Colin asks, do you have output modules that will allow us to configure them to be triggered with different functions?
Yes, so we don't necessarily have output modules, but we do have I think what you're getting at here, we do have a powerful scenes engine that allows you to set up different scenes to have devices interact with each other and function off of one another. So if the lock is unlocked, you can disarm the system. If there's a different trigger can cause another device to trigger. That can all be done via our scenes engine, and that can be set up via the mobile app by the end user.
Great, and we've got one last question here from Thomas. I'm going to take this one over to you, Dave. And I'm glad, Thomas, that you brought this up because we neglected to get to it in the last webinar that we did. So this gives us a chance to make good. So Dave, question from Thomas is, do you bill the dealer directly for the service fees, or is that done by our central station?
Oh, great question. And some of it will depend on your central station. We do work with some centrals where it can be a single bill that will include our interactive services. We also bill directly in some instances. So contact us, let us know who your central is. I don't know offhand which ones for sure actually roll our bills in as a single bill, but we do have that capability. And if we aren't doing that with your central, we'd be happy to talk to them about it. So one way or another, you can get a single bill, or you can work with us directly, whatever makes the most sense for your business.
Thanks, David. I know I said that was the last question, but Robin had a quick follow-up. I want to make sure that we get that answer to Robin. Robin is asking, can you let me know if there is a possibility of XML communications to central stations?
Yeah, I can take that one, Kevin. So we do have a number of different ways to do IP to IP communication for alarm transmission to the central station. XML is one of those methods, so definitely a possibility to have XML communication to your central station.
Excellent. Thanks for jumping in, Adam. Robin's asking, if yes, who can I get in contact with? You can reach out to Adam. He'll make sure you get the information you need on that XML communication, Robin. So go ahead and send him an email at adam, Larson, Larson, @alula.net. Previously, I put it in the chat box there. So reach out to Adam. So thank you guys all for attending and joining this webinar today. Adam, thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks, everyone.
And Dave, thank you so much for dialing in from ISC East. We'll let you get back to the show and the fun that you're having there.
Yep, and anybody at the show, swing by our booth. And I don't remember our booth number, but Kevin, you probably do. But look for us anyway, and I'd be happy to see you in person.
Yeah, and I believe that booth number is 131. So hopefully we'll see your smiling faces there. We've got a great staff there with some hands-on. You can play with the Back Connect. You can check out our video doorbell. I've been getting back. We've seen some pictures from it. We've got a giant iPhone set up there. Lets you play with the app. It's a real fun experience. So swing by that booth, 131. over there at IC East if you happen to be in New York City. Thank you all. Please stay tuned for future webinars. It's always a pleasure hearing back from you. All right, guys. See ya.